I had no idea the fire was this close. There was a fire up here. This is probably a quarter of a mile from our cabin, if that. I mean, look at this. Wow. I mean, it burned all that. I'm surprised they were able to put it out. Holy hell, that's crazy. I mean, this is even further up the road. I mean, this thing burned. It was really close to my house and I didn't hear anything about it. I would have been up here because the cabin could go up like a tinderbox. I mean, look at this. I'll just drive with it. That fire was crazy. I mean, it was really close to my cabin. I'm sure some of these houses up here were burned. I'm surprised I haven't heard anything about this fire. I mean, this is insane. Insane. At least it didn't jump the road. Well, yeah, it did. Look. It did jump the road. Look at all that burned. Man, I'm so lucky that my cabin was down further. If it was up in here, that would have been it. And these poor people. There's not many. I think there's 2 other cabins up here. And they're not very big, and they could go up in a heartbeat. I just think this is insane. I really think this is crazy. I mean, hopefully it doesn't go all the way up the mountain. I mean, I'm just in awe right now how bad this thing burned. I mean, and it's on both sides, just like this. Both sides. Clear up in there. Clear over there. This has been insane. It had to have been a lightning strike, that's my guess. Because, yeah, I'm sure it did. But I wonder where it's actually started. It'd be interesting to find out. Anyway. I mean, look at this. This is all additional burn. I mean, it burned. Shit, it burned all the way up that mountain. Holy crap. Look at that. This was a huge fire. How come I wasn't notified of it? This is crazy. Huh. Hopefully it doesn't get to where I go hiking. That'd be bad. I mean, all the way up that mountain. It's crazy. I forgot to bring my selfie stick. Makes it easier for me to film. But look at this mess. I mean, this is clear up where I usually hike around. It's been completely just burned. And the creek's dry as a bone. That usually runs all year round. Huh. Wow, this has just got desolation. I'll walk up here a ways and see if I can't find the area that... Interesting. It's like a track, but I don't think it is. Just to see how far up this burned. I've hiked this trail so many times. They're always in here. I just wonder. I mean, looks like it's been probably a couple months ago. So whatever got scared out, I'm sure it's back. Once the green shoots start to come out, that's gonna be good. I'll get the deer and stuff back in here. I mean, crazy. Just unusual. That a fire could be so devastating. And I'm lucky that it didn't get my cabin. It didn't even come close, really. Either a quarter of a mile or half a mile. But that's still way too close. It's that mountain that got hammered. Went clear up to the top. I'm just hoping it stopped right over here. Usually it'll follow the jet stream with the wind. What I'm thinking is it may have started on that mountain and moved down. That would be my guess, because the wind usually blows from west to east, and that's west. So there was probably a good lightning strike. What was that? Oh, blue jay. At least there's animals back in here. It's been, what's crazy is I had a trail cam in here somewhere that I never could find. Either somebody took it or now it'd be burned up. But it was a cheap one, but still, probably had some good footage. So I'm wondering if this is the cutoff over here. I mean, crazy. You know, and I started thinking about things. I was looking at my ghillie suit, and I'm gonna do another video on that. It's amazing to me how camouflaged they can become, even if they're 20 yards away. You can't see them. They break up their outline with their fur or hair. And I think it's cool, but at the same time, if you're out in the mountains and, let's see, and they decide you're on the menu or they want to harass you, they can easily. Yeah, it looks like this is where it stopped. I'm guessing, maybe not. I'll film in a minute. There's a dead rabbit, at least the fur. Means something's been in here eating. So you can see right here where the elk have decimated this tree, getting their horns shined up or whatever they're doing, getting the velvet off. Even though it's way too early, that was probably last year. So, back in the saddle, and we are quite a ways out of the fire danger. That fire was probably like 25 square miles, which is insane. That'd be just, man, I'd be devastated if my cabin got burned up after everything I put into it. I mean, it's one thing to get the insurance money out of it, but it's a whole nother thing to get the sentimental and your time out of it. It just doesn't happen that way. So I guess that's a blessing, because a lot of these people lost their homes, at least down further. They had a few cabins down there. Up here, there's only one other, and I don't know if he did or not. Interesting. Interesting. cool place. Ooh, look at that. Look at that structure. Wow. Look at that. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen a structure for a while, but that's one. No question asked. Wow. That is so cool. Huh. This is like starting to get deep again. This is what they like because they can take 2 steps and be out of view. Heck, they could be in the wide open and we wouldn't see them. That's what's crazy. Anyway, I've been walking through here. There's a little bit of snow in here in some of these cave looking things. Like that, just an easy access to get through. Anyway, those are pretty good lookouts. I mean, you could see anything coming if you needed to from up there. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of interesting things in this area that, you know, that you just don't see that often. You know, like the rock formations, you know, and all that kind of stuff. It's just always, the hell is that? Look at that. Holy shit. See, I need to know what the skull means. I need to know what that means. I mean, they got skulls, they got these legs. Maybe that's like keep out from the fire or something. I don't know. But I've never seen one like that. That looks like a damn print. Is that a print? And another one right there. What the hell? They usually never leave prints. See? Somehow they get on top of the rocks and the shale, and they just disappear. But that is cool as hell. It's not a bear. There's no bears up here anyway that I know of. That's big, whatever it is. That's huge. Look at that. There's a skull. Man, it's got me nervous. Shaking the camera. Hell. I wished I had my plaster. I would make a form for those. Wow. Some kind of rock down there. It might have been on here before and fell off. I don't know. I just know that is so cool. So cool. Wow. Anyway, I need to find more. I'm excited as hell right now. I need to go get this done because this is where I find the most in this area. This area seems to have the most that I've seen as far as heard and watched them parallel me and hear them. It's not an aggressive pod or whatever you call it, but they're here. There's no question. There's so much game here and pine nuts and berries that they would never need to leave. Anyway, onward and upward. Holy shit. I'm working my way back down. I come back into the fire and I'm looking for things. I feel bad for all the animals that were displaced because I'm sure there were many, especially squirrels and birds and stuff that had nests. although they don't breed right when this fire came out, luckily. So they're gonna have to find a different place to go. But in any case, this is like one of those nightmare dreams. I mean, if you were in the middle of this and that fire engulfed you, there's no way out, regardless of how hard you run. It's just strange to me that this much damage to happen before they could get it under control. I mean, I guess a fire's a good thing, it's a rebirth, but it's gonna take a while. All the ash on the ground. So many questions I have. You know, I think a lot about Sasquatch, especially after those tracks, about Sasquatch and the cloaking mechanism, or the cloaking interdimensional stuff. I personally don't believe that. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying, when you look at my ghillie suit video, which was a bad video, I mean, I'm gonna do another one, make it really good. After 20 feet, I was gone. And that was with a ghillie suit. Imagine if you really had brownish black fur, especially in something like this, you couldn't see them. That's what blows my mind. It's just really interesting to me that the way that so many people have seen them and interacted even. I mean, there's people that fed them. I'll never feed them. I don't need them that close. But I don't feel a whole lot of fear. Actually, my biggest fear is a mountain lion. I mean, I'm sure if a Sasquatch stepped out up there, I'd drop and shit green apples. Now, for all you kids, I've got a potty mouth, so you'll have to beep it. I don't say the real bad words, but they still aren't good. You know, you can see everything that's on the ground. It would be cool to see some old shed antlers, or they probably got burned up though, or you know, something that you couldn't see while the trees were all green and bushy, because it is wide open. However, if you look up there, I guarantee you, if there was a Sasquatch up in there, you couldn't see him unless he moved. And even then, you'd be hard pressed. I don't know, this is a really interesting place. I've never been up in here, in this section. There's a split in the creek bed. One goes down to the very bottom, and this one splits off to the side of the hill or mountain. And it's usually been too thick to even bother, but not now. It's just really interesting about all this stuff. I mean, it really burned. I mean, it burned. Probably pushed everything up high at least a month or two ago. They probably come back down now. Those tracks I saw were fresh. They didn't look very old. Not only can we see a long ways, but they can see a long ways. Which gives them the edge, always. Crazy. I mean, this is like a death forest. I can't even imagine coming out here at dark. Just walking through here pitch black. It'd be a good place to try out that FLIR camera I have to put on that attaches to my phone. Infrared. Just to see. Now that I'm freed up some time, I plan to do this a lot more often. I missed it. And I really enjoy it. I don't know, I'm sure you guys have a lot of different ideas on what's actual with Bigfoot and what you think about how he seems to vanish. I'm just giving you my opinion. At least the ones around here seem like that. I can't say I know for sure because I don't. But from what I've seen, that's what I think. Then we get up here. And it looks like it started up there and spread down. That's my guess. It's a good thing those boulders and stuff are up higher. They didn't get touched. It's still strange. Looks like something was trying to build something there. See the two limbs stacked up. I don't know, they could be natural, but it seems a little weird. Probably started something and then fire ran them off, who knows. And there's another one that tipped right there that was hooked onto it. That was something. At least a start. Look at that dead thing. You know, talk about a totem pole. Carve some faces in that. Look at that. Dead skull of some kind. Just burnt to a crisp. Fell apart when I grabbed it. That fire must have been so damn hot. You know, I take a lot of crap about the way I film and stuff. You know, the noise and all that stuff. But the truth is, this is kind of the way I do it. You get all that other gear going, and then you don't want to come out because you have to pack too much. I was going to show you. I'll show you a little bit later. Yeah, it looks like the fire pretty much stopped right there and just burnt down. What the hell is that? It looks weird. And that tree, that yellow thing, pine sap, maybe. Something. Just a broken limb. Yeah, now I start thinking about horns, and I'm thinking they'll just be brittle. If you found them in here. However, I do think this is cool. So anyway, back to, you know, there's a lot of people that think I film crappy or whatever. And I'll be real honest with you, I'm not the best filmer or editor or any of that. I just do what I feel, you know? I just try to document what I see. Sometimes there's nothing. A lot of times there's nothing. But a lot of times there's structures, or there's prints, or there's movement, or there's a howling, or screaming, or throwing things. You know, the one thing I haven't had a lot of is tree knocking. Haven't heard it very much. A few times, but not very loud. But you could tell it wasn't from a woodpecker or anything. It was loud enough to know that somebody was, it was boom, boom. I didn't hear a response though. So maybe they were they were too far away, I don't know. I just know that I've never seen this mountain like this before. It just blows my mind. I've been out here so many times trying to find both the answers and, you know, the truth. I mean, for me, this is my church out here. If I could have this, I mean, I feel blessed to be able to come out here and do this. You know, everybody's got their own way of dealing with things, and this helps. Sometimes it gets a little intense, which, you know, freaks me out, but I've got a gun. I was going to show you the gun. I'm going to show you what I use. This is it. This is, hang on, let me get a better hold. This is my 45. This is what I use. It's a good gun. It'll put anything down. So when I pack it in here, I'm not worried about too much. Anyway, see, this is strange also. Look at this mound. Just in the middle of nowhere. Just this big old mound, like something was buried there. You know? Doesn't make any sense. And the smell in here is just fire, fire, and more fire. It's gonna take a while for this to get settled down. Bunch of rain, maybe snow, something. This is like devastation. Then just like out of the blue, you just pop out back into the thick forest. You can see just by looking at this how thick it was before it burned. I mean, that was a lot of acreage that was burned up. I don't know, everything happens for a reason. For some reason it burned. I don't like it, but at least it didn't burn all the mountain. Didn't burn where I film mostly, so that's good.